needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing.
And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world, because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Arpelhan. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 20 minutes off, please sport.
And it's Hakim Ziyech who puts the Atlas.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeats, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
In a world where power shifts its every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
2564 is coming up on Bunny Dime, right?
The 2564 Atlantic Tower.
What happens in the hush behind hangar doors? Who signs the papers that gamble with lives? Which truths were grounded before they even ever had wings? If you've ever buckled a seatbelt at 30,000 feet, if you've ever stared out of that tiny window and wondered who's really in control of the skies, it isn't just flight, it's power, it's politics, it's pressure sealed in steel. We're peeling back the clouds from runway risks to sky-high secrets. We're diving deep where most dare not to look. Aviation Scope, every Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Voice of the People TV. We don't just report, we reveal. We don't just ask, we uncover. Because when it comes to the skies, ignorance is turbulence. Aviation Scope, the sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People Television, where your health has a voice.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. But for us, the technical crew,
it's weird for technical people to be in front of camera, but I just want to say,
now this is why they make me come outside every day. Anytime when they call me, I will rush come outside. We don't get holiday.
Our holiday is part of our daily routine and we've embraced it.
I must say the work is challenging, engaging and interesting.
We are all families here at VOP and we the technical crew.
For us, it's another day on the job.
But it's tough being away from family.
But the lighter part of it is that after the work,
we will stay connected with video calls and messages. Merry Christmas.
On behalf of the technical crew, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas, and here we are, job continues.
Ẹ̀yin tèmi ní Nàìjíríà lókè òkun, mò ń kí yín fún Kérésìmesì ọdún yìí á yabo fún wa o. Gbogbo àlàrí bá ti ṣe tààrọ̀ náà gbégbá o. I wish my fans all over the world, in Europe, America, Australia, everywhere, a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Catch ya next year.
As the year comes to an end, we want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for your hard work, dedication, and the positive vibe you bring to Voice of the People every day. From all of us on the HR, we would like to say Merry Christmas, a happy, prosperous, and healthy New Year. Thank you.
This is to wish you a wonderful, spirit-filled and Merry Christmas from Matthew Ugunswada.
This year has been so amazing with you in it, and that's why we're saying from Voice of the People TV, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and we love you.
You've been wonderful all through the year, and this is from us, Voice of the People Television, saying Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year to you all. See you at the top.
Whether you've been with us through the ups and downs or just joined us for this festive season,
take a moment to cherish the moments you've made and look forward to making new ones on the horizon.
May this new year bring you everything good, everything prosperous.
As we bid farewell to the old year and welcome you to the new year,
may your heart be filled with joy and your home with laughter. And of course, may your spirit be filled with hope.
We'll be bringing you live updates, exciting performance, and inspiring stories throughout the day.
Stay tuned for our special New Year's coverage and let's make this year unforgettable.
Thank you for making us a part of your celebration.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Well, hello and welcome to News Hour on Voice of the People TV. I am Vivian Oguche.
And I am Nenna Ndumdirto. Before we begin, kindly visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. First, the headlines. Court postpones Anthony Joshua's driver case to January 20.
Malami, wife, son's detention extended as bail ruling postponed.
Governor Mufwang defects to APC.
INEC chairman pledges credible 2027 elections.
JTF repels bandit attack on Kano communities.
Lagos confirms 8 deaths and declares area unsafe.
On the foreign scene, Somalia assumes leadership of UN Security Council.
Well, in business news, Naira opens 2026 higher, gains 4 Naira at official market.
In sport, Osimhen declares Super Eagles set for AFCON glory.
Well, in the world of entertainment, Burna Boy breaks record for biggest Spotify year by African artist.
Now the news in details. Kayode Adeniyi, the 47-year-old driver of the Lexus SUV involved in Monday's fatal crash, claimed the lives of two close friends of former world heavyweight boxing champion Anthony Joshua, has been arraigned in court. Adeniyi was charged before a Shagamu magistrate court for manslaughter, reckless driving, and related offences. The Federal Road Safety Corps had earlier blamed the crash on overspeeding and wrongful overtaking, which led to the vehicle ramming into a stationary truck. The Ogun State Police Command spokesperson Oluseyi Babasheyi said the case has been adjourned to January 20, 2026.
Moving on, the detention of former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami and two of his relatives has been extended by 5 days. The Federal High Court in Abuja on Friday adjourned ruling on their bail application to the 7th of January, following a hearing before trial judge Emeka Nwete. Malami, his son Abdulaziz, and one of his wives, Asabe Bashir, were arraigned on December 30, 2025 on money laundering charges and have spent 3 nights at the Kuje Correctional Center. With the bail ruling now deferred, the trio may spend at least 8 days in custody if bail is eventually granted. Their current detention is separate from the period they earlier spent in EFCC custody. The EFCC, in a 16-count charge, accused them of laundering 8.7 billion naira, involving alleged illicit asset acquisitions and concealment in Abuja, Kano, and Kebbi states.
Still on a legal note, the Bauchi State Commissioner of Finance, Yakubu Adamu, has been granted 500 million naira bail in a 4.6 billion naira money laundering case. The ruling was delivered by Justice Emeka Nwite of the Federal High Court, Abuja, following a bail application filed by Adamu's legal team. Adamu, a former Polaris Bank branch manager, was arraigned by the EFCC over a controversial 4.65 billion naira loan transaction and pleaded not guilty on December 30, 2025. Justice Nwite noted that the EFCC failed to provide evidence suggesting Adamu might flee, interfere with witnesses, or evade trial, and granted bail of 500 million naira with two sureties of the same amount.
Well, away from legal matters, we take you to Plateau State, where Governor Caleb Mutwang has officially defected to the All Progressives Congress. The state APC chairman, Rufus Baturi, presented the party's membership card to the governor in Jos. Governor Mutwang said the move was in the interest of the state, pledging inclusive governance despite the change in party. He called for unity among residents, thanked members of the People's Democratic Party for their support, and said the defection would further drive his commitment to delivering quality leadership to Plateau State.
In another development, the chairman of INEC, Joash Amopiton, has reaffirmed the Commission's commitment to delivering free, fair, and credible elections in 2027, saying preparations are already underway to strengthen Nigeria's democracy. In his 2026 New Year message to staff nationwide, Amopiton described the coming year as a critical period for institutional consolidation ahead of the next general elections. He commended staff for their education in 2025, particularly during the Anambra State governorship election, noting that discipline, unity, and professionalism ensured public confidence in the electoral process. The INEC chairman also pledged to prioritize staff welfare and urged personnel to remain steadfast in upholding the integrity of the electoral system, stressing that every eligible voter must be empowered and every vote counted.
And now to security matters. Troops of the Joint Task Force have foiled an attempted bandit attack on communities in Shanono local government area, Kano State, after hours of fighting. The clash began late Thursday and continued into Friday in Yankwada, Babanduhu, a nearby village. Major Zubairu Babatunde, the Nigerian Army spokesperson in Kano, said the bandits tried to enter the communities on motorcycles, firing sporadically in what he described as a revenge attack following losses in a previous encounter. The troops' prompt action prevented loss of lives and major property damage. Major Babatunde reassured residents that the military remains on high alert and urged them to provide timely information to security agencies.
Away from that report, 8 people have died in the Christmas Eve fire that gutted the 25-story Great Nigeria Insurance Building in Lagos. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu confirmed the death on Friday during an inspection of the building, where pockets of fire were still visible 9 days after the incident. The governor expressed deep sadness, led a minute of silence for the victims, and attributed the fire to human error and unsafe practices in the affected and nearby buildings. Several neighboring structures were also impacted, with generators reportedly operating across different floors of shopping plazas along Shita, Martins and Breadfruit Street. Governor Sanwo-Olu declared the area unsafe and warned residents and traders to stay clear until a phased, coordinated demolition is carried out. He urged traders to prioritize life over property during emergencies.
Elsewhere, 3 persons, including a man and his daughter, were feared dead on New Year's Day after a salon car crashed into a stationary truck at the Birikwere flyover in Obiakwa local government area of Rivers State. The accident occurred in the early hours of the day as the occupants were returning from a crossover service, reportedly unaware that a waste truck had been parked along the road. 3 occupants were said to have died, while others sustained serious injuries and are receiving treatment at an undisclosed hospital. The Rivers State Police Command confirmed the incident, saying investigations are ongoing to determine the cause of the crash.
Joining us virtually to analyze the news hour is Okpeyemi Ogunlami, a public affairs analyst. But we'll take a break, and when we return, we'll bring our analyst on board.
In a world where power shifts with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing.
And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world, because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
From the views on the streets,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city. The loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills 3 things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people. and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people. Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Voice of the People. You can hear me now. My name is Patrick Doyle, and I wish that you continue to echo the voices of the people. Big up VOP TV.
My name is So Ibifa Dokobo. Please keep watching VOP TV.
Hi, my name is Kwekumali Ikenda Onyekwena, and I am with the Voice of the People TV. Now, if you're looking for the veritable channel for information, politics, robust discussions, you don't need to go far. VOP has you. VOP will always have you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Patrick Diabwa, aka Ibani Chuka, Amayanabo the Eagle King, and you are watching VOP TV. Stay with us.
Glad to have you join us. You're still watching News Hour on VOP TV. Join us virtually to analyze the News Hour is Okpeyemi Ogulami, a public affairs analyst. Glad to have you join us, Okpeyemi. Please, can you unmute your device? Please unmute your device if you can hear me, Okpeyemi. We'll take another break now, and of course, when we return, we hope to get connected to Okpeyemi. Just stay with us. Glad to have you back. It's still News Hour on Voice of the People television, and we're still connected to Okpeyemi Ogunlami, a public affairs analyst. Glad to have you join us, Okpeyemi. If you can hear me, please unmute your device. Okay, we hope to get connected to Okpeyemi later on in the news. Thank you very much for still being with us. We're going to move on. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has reaffirmed his resolve to move the state forward, saying he has the resilience to deliver on the mandates given to him by the people. The governor spoke in Port Harcourt while swearing in 5 new special advisors at the government house. Those sworn in are Eloka Tasie Amadi, Peter Medi, Emmanuel Frank Fubara, Victor Ekaro, and Darlington Oji. Governor Fubara urged the advisors to work as a team and remain committed to his administration's vision of effective and people-centered governance. He said the appointments were aimed at strengthening teamwork and ensuring the smooth and efficient functioning of government, noting that advisors were chosen for their familiarity with his administration's philosophy. The governor cautioned against complacency, stressing that the appointments were not ceremonial, but an opportunity to contribute meaningfully to service delivery. Development comes days after a minor cabinet reshuffle, which saw the Commissioner for Sport, Christopher Green, redeployed to the Ministry of Justice as Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice.
Well, let's take you to Osun State now, where Governor Ademola Adeleke has welcomed the third quarter of 2025 Fiscal Transparency Report by Budget Nigeria, describing it as a validation of his administration's commitment to transparency and accountability. In a statement by his spokesperson, the report ranked Osun among 11 states nationwide with a perfect 100% score, the state's highest performance in over a decade. Governor Adeleke described the ranking as a New Year boost for the people of Osun, attributing it to strict adherence to due process and open governance. He said the assessment covered the availability and timeliness of public finance documents, e-procurement functionality, and access to fiscal data, adding that the result reflects effective management over the past 3 years.
This next report says the governorship candidate of the African Democratic Congress in Anambra State, John Nwosu, has welcomed political leaders who recently joined the party with their supporters. Speaking to journalists, Nwosu described the decision as bold and patriotic, reflecting a shared commitment to building a democratic, inclusive, and progressive Nigeria. His remarks follow the defection of Labour Party's 2023 presidential elect candidate, Peter Obi, who on Wednesday officially joined the ADC in Enugu alongside several lawmakers. Nwosu said the move demonstrates courage, experience, and dedication to integrity and development-driven politics, adding that the new members would strengthen the party structure and influence in Anambra. He extended a special welcome to Peter Obi, Senator Victor Ome, Tony Nwoye, and other federal and state legislators, stressing the importance of unity and collaboration. The ADC candidate reaffirmed that the party remains a platform for transformative leadership and national progress.
And now we move to Gombe State, where Governor Inuwa Yahaya has presented 2 million naira to the families of each of the 7 journalists who died tragically in a car crash. The journalists died on Monday while returning from a colleague's wedding in Kautungo local government area. Speaking in Gombe, Yahaya's representatives, Abubakar Unjodi, Secretary to the state government, described the donation as a token of support for the bereaved families. He said the government was deeply concerned about the accident, noting the journalists' invaluable contributions to the state's development. Earlier, Al-Hassan Yahya, National President of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, thanked the governor for his support since the tragedy.
Heavy traffic and roadblocks slowed movement on New Year's Eve, forcing many residents to trek to crossover services. At Living in Christ Fire Ministry, Oyindamola Olukuto reports that the new year was welcomed with praise, prayers, and messages centered on peace and hope for a better year.
December 31st into the early hours of January 1st. Movement across parts of Lagos was slowed by traffic and roadblocks as residents made their way to crossover service and New Year gatherings. With vehicles stranded in long queues, many commuters were left with no option but to trek through the road to their destinations, determined to begin the new year on a spiritual note. At Living in Christ Fire Ministry, worshippers gathered for the annual Watch Night service, marking the transition into the new year with songs of praise and heartfelt thanksgiving.
Among the successful ones, it's not one that gave to you. It's not that you eat the best food. But you have put on the best clothes. I said somebody shout hallelujah! Somebody that won millions. Can also go want millions. They are in the mortuary.
The service progressed into intense prayer session as members were lifted personal and collective petitions, committing their hopes, families, and aspirations into God's hands for the year ahead. As midnight approached, congregants showed symbolic seeds into the new year, expressing faith, gratitude, and expectation for divine favor and breakthroughs. The highlights of the service was a word of exhortation delivered to the congregation, focusing on God's promise of peace, restoration, and guidance, encouraging members to remain steadfast despite challenges.
And I'm telling you, the trust you have in me, let it be strong. Tell your neighbor again. I can never fail. I can never fail.
With the declaration of the new year, prayers intensified as worshippers prayed into the year with renewed hope, trusting for a better, more peaceful and fulfilling year ahead. The crossover service ended with joy, reflection, and optimism as members stepped into the new year, believing in positive change and divine assurance. I'm Oyindamola Olukuto, reporting for Voice of the People TV.
Thank you so much. Well, in Benin City, Rhoda has a similar story for us regarding the crossover service as she captured reflections, prayers, and expressions of faith during crossover night services as many Christians committed 2026 into God's hands with hopes for spiritual renewal, personal breakthroughs, and a season of fulfillment.
Christians in Benin City, Edo State, ushered in the new year with prayers and expressions of faith during crossover night services held across churches in the state. Those who spoke with VOP TV shared expectations of entering 2026 with renewed hope, expressing trust in God for divine direction, spiritual growth, and breakthroughs in their personal lives.
My expectation is to be closer and closer to God. I will look at every mistake I made last year. I will ask God to help me to correct them this year so that I will serve Him better. Trusting God that the God who preserves us throughout 2025 will also preserve us. We saw the beginning of 2026. We will see the end of 2026. This year shall be 10 times better than last year in the name of Jesus. In this year 2026, the glory of God will be seen in our lives, and we have every cause to glorify His name. And I declare to you, Happy New Year!
They also conveyed hopes for peace, good health, family stability, and success in their various endeavors, while committing the year into God's hands.
I want to encourage every Nigerian to submit to God. God is our help in the midst of trouble. If we submit to God, these series of issues that we are contending with will become a testimony. My prayer is that God will help everyone, Christian and all others, to submit our hearts to God, to do what pleases God. And I am assuring everyone that 2026 shall be a very beautiful year. I'm grateful to God for bringing us into a new year, full of God's grace, full of God's favor. And my prayer is that all of us will join together to serve God. All of us will join together to love God, to follow Him wholeheartedly, and to make Him the Lord of our life, the Lord of our decision. And when we do this, the Lord is faithful to carry us through the year.
As the year begins, Christians in Edo State remain optimistic that their prayers and dedication will usher in a season of fulfillment and testimonies. In Benin, Rhoda Johnny, VOP TV News.
Thank you very much, Rhoda. Still on expectations for the new year, correspondent Sochima Promise spoke with respondents in Oka, the Anambra State capital, many of whom said year 2025 was a very turbulent and trying period for the economy and security. All the same, many as well still count the blessings in this report of mixed feelings.
For Ms. Jedida, 2025 has been an amazing year, even as she counted many blessings and milestones reached within the year. Jedida is also looking forward to 2026 with excitement, being her year of graduation.
2025 was amazing. Very excited. I mean, this year, next year, like 2026, I'm going to be a graduate.
However, Ms. Uju did not find it easy in the ending year 2025, saying the economic situation in the country made it not so favorable. According to her, 2025 was not really a beautiful experience, but hinges her hope in a better new year.
You know the economic situation in this our country now. But we just thank God we are pushing it. Not really. You know, in this life there is some ups and downs. But we thank God. That is the most important thing. We are alive to see the end of this year 2025. And we hope that 2026 will be more better. For favor, for more life, good health, and for to achieve more this year 2026. Yeah.
Mr. Rock Abelati was on the positive lane because according to him, being alive and healthy is good fortune, though he could not rule out the fact that the economic situation in the country brought a lot of stress. He noted that at the beginning of the year 2025, prices of goods and services went up just as there has been a downward trend towards the end of the year. He looks forward to a better economic situation in 2026 with the hope reducing the rate at which Nigerians seek greener pastures abroad.
Going on the positive note, I'm going to see it as being a very good year because I like and I want to be grateful to God for life and for the life of my family, loved ones, and everybody around me. But economically, on the other way around, it has not been a fun year because I've been a lot of struggle here and there to meet up with the economic situation in the country. Things at the beginning of the country, things faced up, skyrocketing. But towards the end of the year, you cannot deny the fact that things like PMS, which is the major means of mobility, dropped down a little bit. So on the average, it's good. And we are hoping that the economic situation of the country will get better, so that more Nigerians will realize that coming back home to invest is better than going out of the country, because the Japa syndrome seems to kind of increase in this 2025. We are hoping that things will get better, those on top or those up there will see the plight of the masses. The masses are not finding it funny. So we hope that things will get better and better so that people will be able to meet up and live a normal life.
A businessman, Austin, said 2025 was rough economically as the insecurity issues in the country rubbed off on businesses. He's looking forward to 2026 being a better year for him, his family, and Nigeria as a whole.
We may experience difficulties and insecurities and everything. So, in general, as businessman, I know how difficult it is. I know how demand that we're receiving. Demand increase in so many ways. If you understand that this insecurity in the states play a big impact over it. So, only thing I will say is that this year so far, we thank God. And God has been faithful. That's everything I will say. And I'm looking forward 2026 to be a better year for me. Yes, my family and also Nigeria.
So Chima Promise, Voice of People Television.
Okay, we'll now get connected to our virtual guest who is joining us to analyze the news. Glad to have you, Okpeyemi Ogulami. Can you please unmute your device?
Yeah, good evening to you. I hope you can hear me clearly.
We can hear you.
Your voice is not that
loud
clear.
and clear. Yeah, glad to have you join us on the news hour. Okay, let's start with this. Of course, Kayode Adeniyi, the 47-year-old driver of the Lexus SUV, of course, the car that was involved in the fatal crash that claimed the lives of two close friends of former world heavyweight boxing champion Anthony Joshua, has been arraigned in court, and the charges that he was charged with were manslaughter, reckless driving, and of course some other related offenses. What do you make of this? How is it that every time the drivers, despite FRSC's their talk and different initiatives, we still get to have drivers in Nigeria have these issues of overspeeding and of course overtaking when they are not supposed to?
Well, I am a driver in Lagos, and I also drive interstates. I could tell for a fact that there are reckless drivers, yes. But we also need to know that for a particular road, there are certain speed limits that are stipulated for specific roads in Nigeria as it is around the world. Sometimes too, when you're on a highway, something contributes to reckless driving, and that is bad road. We need to state that if Anthony Joshua's driver is now awake and then is being charged for reckless driving, we also need to indicate that what was the condition of the road before the accident happened, or at the point of the accident, what was the condition of the road? That's the first thing. And then what can we say about the trailers parked around the road? That's another thing. That's work of the FIR. Everybody has a fault. Whatever happened in that place, the driver has a fault. Nigeria has a fault through the FIRS. And I wouldn't mince word for saying that. So if whatever happened to Anthony Joshua is just Nigeria happened to him. Nigeria called it short for him. that it's all over. Just imagine a trailer parked and the road isn't good. And where the trailer parked, I don't know how the scenario would be. I've not been to the place, to the scene of the accident. But for a trailer to park on a highway is also a wrong thing. So it is not only the driver that should face the penalty, the trailer parked on that road, the driver of the trailer should also face it. And we cannot actually say he's driving recklessly. I cannot say, I'm not defending the driver, but it should also be investigated. At what point did the accident happen? What was the speed, the rate at which the driver was? That's what I can say. But all over, I would say that Nigeria happened to the superstar.
Well, Okoyemi, we've seen videos of the road and the trailer, the truck that was parked. The road is very smooth, very good, and the trailer is parked by the side, or the trailer was parked by the side. But what we noticed was that there was no form of notification to drivers that there's a trailer parked and all. Of course, the FRSC has come out to say that it was overspeeding that caused the accident. But I want for us to talk about something else that's on the front burner right now. The detention of the former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, and two of his relatives, really, his wife and his son. Now, they've spent like 3 days in Kuje Prison, Correctional Center, and it looks like they're going to be spending extra 5 days because the Federal High Court in Abuja on Friday adjourned the ruling on their bail application to January 7. What do you make of this whole thing? Is this a witch hunt or is this justice in the making?
If it's justice, then we should be asking what is happening to Yaya Bello at this time. If it is truly justice, we cannot be having a selective justice in our country, and then we think some others that are not in line with our political affiliation will be nabbed for whatever crime they've committed in the past. Well, if Malami is facing it with his family, let them face let them face the wrath of law. But at this point, I would say that this is witch hunting. Whoever is not in the system, in the current establishment, would face the wrath of law. Look at what the other governor was saying, that he was accused by the presidency because he didn't join APC. He was accused of sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria, and he came out to say it. So more of what is happening in our country now is witch hunting and not pure justice. That's what I can just figure out in all this.
Okay, let's move on to another story. Of course, still on a legal note, the Bauchi State Commissioner of Finance, Yakubu Adamu, has of course been granted bail, a 500 million naira bail. If you remember Yakubu Adamu, he was fingered for money laundering case, and you know, so much back and forth on it. And this seems to be like another case of political witch hunting. But of course, the ruling was delivered by Justice Nwite, and he's telling the FCC that they've not provided any reason for him not to be granted bail. So what do you make of this entire situation, especially of EFCC's arrest of Adamu as a result of this?
You see, the EFCC is a tool in the hand of the mighty to deal with whoever they want. And whoever falls into the trap of the EFCC should face the music, because the power that be is using that wing, that arm, that agency of government to deal with. The arrest of Adamu at this time, well, I would not want to just make any speculation, but I would want to say that witch hunting at this time is just what's going on in Nigeria. Whoever is not complying, let him face it. So Adamu could say, for whatever crime that has been committed for money laundering, is the only Adamu facing, that are committed money laundering in Nigeria. A lot of people are committing it, and then the law and then the agency is overlooking them. So at this point, if he's been rearrested, well, he had committed a crime in the real sense. Yes, accepted. Let him face it. But we just hope, Nigerians hope that this is truly in fairness to the justice system of the Federation.
Away from legal matters now, Opeyemi, let's quickly go to Plateau State, where Governor Caleb Mutfwang has officially defected to the All Progressives Congress. So it looks like the ranks of the APC is swelling by the day, by the number. This is another person. And he said why he's doing this is just because of his people. That's a selfless one, that he wants to take Plateau State closer to the center. What's your reaction to this?
The governor is a joke, to be candid. When he was in the opposition as a governor, doesn't mean the state wasn't getting its benefits from the center. That is one question that we should pose towards the governor. And then the governors are defecting to APC at this present time, and then another governor saying that he refused to. He was accused of sponsoring terrorism for not joining APC. The only problem I see at this point is we need to make it clear, but the problem is Nigerians are yet to realize where the power really is. That is the power in the hand of the masses. If a governor joins any political party of his choice, that's a governor. But to this current establishment, if a governor joins a political party or any other opposition or the ruling party, it is believed that the state is won already. Let us know that the only weapon in the hand of these people is poverty, hunger, hardship. The governor, through the governor, how do I put it, in collaboration with it, had made it possible to enshrine poverty and sufferness into the hearts of Nigerians, and they are facing it. So whatever the governor wants to do, that's what they believe that the state will follow, and not for anything, because the governor has the money that belongs, the fund of the state, the wealth of the state at hand, and the governor will be use it to the best through the local council and then the LCDAs to share palliatives during the election for the people. So governor can join anything they like, but the state hasn't been won. But in the real sense in Nigeria, wherever the governor is, the state follows, even if it's not a popular demand of the people. So that's where we find ourselves. People rushing into the system is because the governor is feeling like if he is left behind, if he is not joining the current administration at the federal level, then something may be wrong with him personally and not with the states. So the governor is just playing his own selfish game.
Okay, thank you very much, Opeyemi Bamidele, for joining us on the news hour. Ogulami, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry for that. Thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, Opeyemi Ogulami is a public affairs analyst. Moving on, we'll go to the foreign scene. Somalia has taken over the United Nations Security Council presidency, a major milestone in its rise in global profile. The Horn of African nation will lead the council's work for January, presiding over meetings and setting the agenda for the body tasked with maintaining international peace and security. Somalia's presidency will be headed by its UN Permanent Representative, Abubakar Usman, succeeding Slovenia's Samus Bulgar. The Somali mission says it will use its presidency to facilitate constructive and inclusive dialogue. The rotating role began on January 1, 2026, following Somalia's election as a non-permanent member of the 15-member Security Council last year. Other African members starting their 2-year terms include Liberia and the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Well, in business news, the Naira opened 2026 on a positive note on Friday, appreciating against the US dollar at the official market. It traded at 1,430.84 Naira to the dollar, according to the data from the Central Bank of Nigeria. This reflects a gain of 4.90 Naira or 0.34%, compared to 1,434.35.75 naira recorded on December 31, 2025. The rise signals sustained appreciation of the local currency from the Yuletide period into the new year.
We now move on to sports. Super Eagles striker Victor Osimhen has declared Nigeria's readiness to win the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. The last time Nigeria ruled the continent was 13 years ago, and the team narrowly missed out on fourth title in the previous tournament, losing 2-1 to Cote d'Ivoire in the final. Speaking to ESPN, Osimhen said the team is determined to go one step further and emerge champions this time. The Super Eagles will face the Mambias of Mozambique in the round of 16 in Fes next Monday.
And in entertainment news, Nigerian singer Burna Boy has set a new record as the most streamed African artist on Spotify in 2025 with nearly 2 billion streams. The Ye Pruna racked up 1.986 billion streams, surpassing colleagues Wizkid, Tyler, Rema, and Davido. Wizkid follows with 1.81 billion streams. South Africa's Tyler is third with 1.67 billion, while Rema and Davido complete the top 5 with 1.63 billion and 1.58 billion streams, respectively. The top 10 also include Ashake 1.52 billion, Ira Star 1.47 billion, CK 1.38 billion, Sheyi Vibes 1.32 billion, and Mr. Easy 1.26 billion.
And that's it on News Hour. Thank you very much for being a part of it. I am Nenna Ndomdioto.
And I'm Vivian Oguche.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
Whether you've been with us through the ups and downs or just joined us for this festive season,
take a moment to cherish the moments you've made and look forward to making new ones on the horizon.
May this new year bring you everything good, everything prosperous.
As we bid farewell to the old year and welcome you to the new year,
may your heart be filled with joy and your home with laughter. And of course, may your spirit be filled with hope.
We'll be bringing you live updates, exciting performance, and inspiring stories throughout the day.
Stay tuned for our special New Year's coverage, and let's make this year unforgettable.
Thank you for making us a part of your celebration.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before. Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political lens,
Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues, on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand. To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on VOP TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector, from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations, and lots more. Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy.